Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a review of The Children of the Shiunji Family, Episode 8. Now, before I do this review, I'd like to say this is one of these arcs that we're going to be focusing on in this episode, and this arc is going to be focused on one girl that everybody has a crush on since the beginning of this show, Ouka. Now, Ouka, let's just sum this up. Ouka is the middle of the family. She is 16, she is the middle child of this family. And everybody likes Ouka because she has that Chizu Mizuhara vibe, you know. If you're gonna look at the Shiunji family and you look at the girlfriend, Ouka is somewhat like Shizu. You gotta think about it. The tsundere vibe, always challenging, you know, all those kind of things. You look at her and you're like, yeah, she's Shizu. Now, last week was the Minami arc. And Minami, you know, the energetic green hair girl she is, it ended in a way, you know, find true passion from Minami. You gotta remember, Minami is athletic, has the tomboyish energy, you know, the love for tennis, the love for her students, the love for her sensei, you know, all that stuff. And to see her cry, just show you how great the animation is, but it show you another side of Minami in ways. Now we finished that arc, and now we're gonna focus on another arc, the Ouka arc. This episode is gonna be covering Ouka arc like nothing. And like I said, this week I will be talking about the Anime Awards. I didn't get a chance to do it. I mean, I so God want to do it. But because of work and schedule, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do reviews or anything like that. I'm gonna have to try my very best to do it. Even though I've been getting a lot of requests to talk about shows that people recommend, like one told me to recommend Ramen and a Half, I still cannot have the time to do it. Yeah, it's gonna take me some time to cover some shows that I said I was gonna review on and requested this and that. But again, bear with me on this whole ride of spring and summer vibe because, you know, anime conventions are around the corner, especially me going to Rhode Island and then the Anime Expo and Anime NYC. It's gonna be a lot of traveling and a lot of this and that to do reviews of. But I'll get to that. But like I said, the Children of the Shiunji family is really good, guys. I mean, to a point that we're getting this Ouka arc that everybody will dying to see. So without further ado, let's get right to it, the review of this. Okay, so Minami's arc has ended, and we got to see Minami showing her sign of affection to Arata. This is a sign that she really loves Arata. I mean, can we give this boy his flowers? Arata, look, I'm going to say this right now. Arata is winning Best Boy of this spring. Arata is now Best Boy of the spring. And I don't care what everybody says based off this show. Guys, if you watch and see what Arata does as a human being and as a brother, you gotta admit, he is one of the best boys. I mean, like, of all the guys, males anime, he's the best. But Minami is now having feelings about Arata, and we got this, and it shows signs of her being blushing towards her, how the ball almost hit Minami, and just like, you can see the side of her blushing, you know, it shows you that she is developing a huge crush on Arata. Not as a brother, but as a human being. Now, and again, everyone was arguing about the whole tennis match thing, which led to what Minami's feelings are. Now, Kotono, whatever you call her, she shut down Ouka. Let me tell you this. Ever since that accidental text that Ouka sent, in the group chat, and it was erased, Kotono used that as a weapon. She literally used that as a weapon to a point where she spoke to Ouka about it, and she was there with the misunderstanding vibe. What happened where Kotono saw Ouka on the bottom and Arata on top, and Ouka trying to play the misunderstanding, like, oh, this misunderstood vibe. But you see Kotono just really open up and telling her, I like her, I saw the group text, and I saw this and that. And that kind of hesitated Ouka to a point that Ouka she didn't know what to say. But this is why I like Kotono. She jumped the mother freaking bullet. She literally jumped the bullet. And for her to say that part, yo, to make her hesitate is so wild. Like, this is why Kotono's best girl. So this is why she's my best girl. And then I have Banri second. Which brings me to Banri. Now, everybody has the hots for Banri. Everybody has the hots for the oldest sister of the Shiunji family. I get it. She's 18. She's freaking hot. I can't badmouth Banri. I mean, she's my second best girl. Now, I don't want to sit down on a round table and say she's ranked 2 out of the 5. And then the people are going to say, that's disrespectful. No, that's not disrespectful. Look, that's not disrespectful. I have Kotono at 1 and I have Banri 2. That's my top 5. That is going to stay that way as my top 5. I have Banri at 2 all time when it comes to the 5 girls. So Banri asks Arata to come with her to the university. Because it's funny because I think most people who watch the show really forgot that she's the oldest. And I'm pretty sure everybody forgot that she goes to university. I don't know. I think people find that weird. But my point is, you gotta take it to a nursing university. And she had to pick some up. I do like this direction to go with her backstory. Her backstory explains why she's like that. Why she wants to become a nurse. And I do like where the storylines is going for these characters because you get to see why they like to do what they do. Like with Minami. Minami likes tennis. And there was a reason why she stuck with tennis. With Banri, we got to see a developmental sign of her showing her backstory as to why she wants to become a nurse. So she wants to be a nurse to help out the cure, the sickness and all that. Because every time she see her mother, she will cry. But then when a nurse spoke to her, this and that, it got her to really inspiring to be a nurse. And I know what people's thinking. Let's put this out the way. I want to put this out the way. Y'all wanted Banri as a nurse to nurse you. Think about it. If you're in the bed, hospital bed, and Banri takes care of you with fan service and a nurse outfit, trust me when I say that's merchandise. Can you imagine Banri in a nurse outfit taking care of you? That is some merch and fan service topic that everybody's gonna look at. But aside from that, you got to give props to the development of that. And speaking of development, the development between Banri and Arata is getting there. I'm not really strong on it. That's like, honestly, the shipping between those two, that's like my 3rd favorite ship. Because I like Kotono's ship, that's 1. Ouka's ship is 2 because I see where this is going. But then it's Banri's ship, and I support that too. So I'm not against that. I support that. So that scene where Arata was so bold, very bold in this episode, teasing Banri. Because you see most of the time Banri has teased Arata. Now it's the other foot. He's teasing Banri. And for Arata to grab Banri in the mouth because he heard something like, the fan service shots were there, especially with the boobs. Covering her mouth like this. And she got turned on. I mean, if you looked at closely about the back of her ears were peachy red. Her ears were so red because she was so blushing over that. But it was all just because she left some stuff for the kids, to become a nurse, and that's that. But again, those fan service shots of her being scared and showing her blushiness and all that stuff, I love it. I really do. But again, that part was about Banri's development as to why she wants to become a nurse. Now we're going to Ouka's arc. This is where the Ouka arc starts now, ever since the Kotono talk. You see, you gotta understand, Ouka, when you're married to the Shiunji family, you are the prodigy student. When you have the last name Shiunji, that's what this was. So when Ouka got her grades back, everybody thought Ouka's gonna get an A because she is the #1 student. She's athletic and all that stuff. The opening just showed you. But you see this and you look at her grading, she got a D. So it's so much for the child prodigy. And I get it. She may not be as smart as Shio. Because in the Shiunji family, Shio is the brain type. Ouka is more balanced type of the family. You know what I mean? Kotono's the shy one. Minami's the muscle of the group. Banri is the mature type. Shio's the brains, and Ouka's kind of like the balance, tsundere, between this and that. So when she got a D, the next day she goes out like, I'm gonna be going to the mountains. I'll be bound for the weekend. So then everybody thought like, oh, she's going on for the weekend. Okay, we're not gonna see. We should be back. But then after days, she has not come back. That is where the Ouka arc redemption comes in effect. And we're going to see where this goes. But overall, though, this episode was really good. The pacing is really excellent to show us more of the Shinji family getting there to a point where we're going to see more development of it. And you gotta admit, the animation and quality is really freaking good. There's no question about it. I do believe the Children of the Shiunji family needs to be nominated in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. For the love of God, make this show nominated. Best main character, best supporting character, you name it. They gotta be up there. But again, now that the Minami arc is done, we're now shifting gears to the Ouka arc. Everyone's favorite girl, Ouka arc. And now that she's gone, we're gonna see where this goes for her, for our beloved character of the Shinji family, Ouka. And pretty soon, I'm pretty sure we're going to feel the same way. But it showed you where she's going, because if you look at the opening, it showed her with her hiking boots and all that stuff. So it showed you more about where she's going. It hinted that, so I'll give you that. But I look forward for next week's episode of it, and let's see where this goes. In the beginning of the Ouka arc. See you soon.